Great morning, my friends, and welcome to the playing field of your consciousness. This podcast's intention is to remove the blindfolds from your programmed mind so that you can gain access to higher levels of consciousness and tap into your true great potential. We do this how? With our 10-minute, straight to the punch, deep thought podcast format. Weekly blog called The Dragon's Lair, One from the Vault, and our upcoming online courses and books. Welcome, my friends, to another Rise Up with Dragon.
Great morning, world! Welcome to the Rise Up with Dragon podcast with your host, Dragon!
Hello, my friends, and great morning. And in the spirit of everything that I am looking to create in my day and offer other people as a tool, this idea of taking control of our thoughts has a lot to do with bypassing our programmed, inherited analytical mind. And one of the easiest ways to do that is through the practice of meditation. So big ups to our Rise Up with Dragon sponsor, Karma Mind.
Get into the float state with Calm Mind meditations and gear.
So our morning routine, and when I say I'm talking about the dragon and the chicken. It's a very, very big part of our day. And we were out for our morning walk this morning. And it was interesting because we always chat about like our first thoughts of the day. And, you know, everything that I represent is about that space between stimulus and our response. Like that's where the game is won, the eye of the storm. And it's what my book is going to be about. So this morning, don't know why, can't explain it, but my morning routine is everything. You know, it's just, the truth is that I wake up most mornings, like most people, in a hole, and I just take control of that and I set the intentions for my day, and I have this whole morning routine, but it requires, in my reality, that I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. And for some reason, my alarm clock didn't go off and I didn't wake up until 5:30. So my first deep, dark hole was that I was behind the ball. And it was just interesting because that was my first stimulus and first challenge of the day that I handled gracefully with my interface response system. And I was just talking about that this morning. The old version of me, and I don't know if you're like this, and you can always chime in, the old version of me, when something like that would happen, it would have happened to me. And I would have said, damn, oh my God, why me? You know, and all that. And then the rest of my day would have fallen in place behind that. But the new version of me, and as I said, I stopped myself a little bit, I thought about it. I said, interesting, you know, out of my control, nothing I did, right? And I just said, today is going to be different. So I bobbed and weaved and I changed things up a little bit. And here I am on the other side feeling fantastic. So, you know, just very, very grateful for that. So today is called the Dreamcatcher. And this is something I'm very, very passionate with. As a matter of fact, the team that I coach, you know, I have just tons and tons of coaches that I've mentored and, you know, taught how to, you know, live this physical, mental, and financially free life. We call ourselves the Dreamcatchers, but it's not Dreamcatchers like most people know. But the first, you know, one of the thoughts, the dragon thoughts that I had this morning, and this is a big part of my practice, is just this idea of ridding myself with the fear of dying, right? Because I think that if you're constantly afraid of the end, you naturally will go into survival mode. So I wrote this down just as one of my precursor thoughts to my rise up, and I want to share it with you. So I said, I'm no longer afraid of dying anymore. I said, what I am afraid of is not living and the idea of missing all the cool shit that is coming. You know, I watch, you know, documentaries and things like this about like scientists making breakthroughs about things to come and what Elon Musk is doing and all that stuff, and recognize that a lot of that stuff's like 1,000 years away. Some of the cool stuff that's going to happen. That's the only thing that I don't like about dying is that I'm not going to see that stuff. So what's cool about that is it helps me stop living in fear, right? Getting rid of this fear of dying and focusing more on living helps me stop living in fear and start taking full advantage and responsibility for the time that I've been gifted today. And the easiest way to do that is to be, in a state of gratitude. And I talk about that. So let's talk about the Dreamcatcher. So, in the spirit of the Rise Up a Dragon, obviously it's going to be a little bit of a twist, but here's my question for you today to observe. Do you have your Dreamcatcher set up to catch a miracle, or are you hoping for a miracle to catch you? So I'm going to talk about becoming a dream catcher. So I'm super fascinated with human behavior, obviously, and how things we desire unfold and manifest. And I'm always curious as to how much control we actually have over it. I know that there was the advent of The Secret and the law of attraction, and everybody started doing affirmations and stuff. And I'm not here to talk about that, but what it means is that a lot of people are interested in this idea of attracting things into their life. So this Rise Up is a little bit of a twist on that. So I believe that we all carry an innate potential and power inside of us that exists just like a flower, which is for the most part, think about this. We have this innate potential that exists just like a flower, which is for the most part affected by nature. So think about a flower. A flower kind of like does its thing, but for the most part, nature takes over and manifests this beautiful flower. Without nature, without the soil, without the water, without sun and stuff like that, the flower wouldn't exist. So how much control over this beautiful end product called a flower does the flower actually have? So just like that, human beings, when you look at what it is that you do have control over, I said, all we can do is our best to prepare the soil and water the flower. So think about that. This end product that you're looking for in your life, physical, mental, financial, whatever it is, how much control do you have over leveraging it? Well, you could prepare the soil, right? And you can water it, and you can think about all the different things that are associated with that. But the rest is up to nature. The rest is up to the universe. So that's one of the first things I want everybody to understand is like most of this stuff that we're trying to acquire in life, whatever it is, it's not really up to us. But what is up to us is those basic principles. So that's why in the beginning, I thought about this idea of living, right? Taking advantage of this present moment. Because in this present moment, I know what I have and what I can do to leverage things, but the rest I have to release to the universe and nature. So the rest is up to nature, AKA the universe and what it is that we label as fate. Isn't it interesting to think about fate, right? It's fate that this happened, but what is fate, right? That's that nature, that's that universe. So let's talk about the control. Let's talk about that little area of control that we have and reclaim control. How much control do we have over attracting the things that we desire? So I said, have you ever heard of a dream catcher? Now, when I mention dream catcher, what is it that you think of? The original purpose, if you look up the definition of it, because it started for me, the first dream catcher experience I had is my kids used to have bad dreams. So we would put a dream catcher next to their bed. And the idea was that the dream catcher was going to fend off evil and catch bad things and protect them. It's interesting. So its original purpose was to filter the bad dreams away, protect you from evil and negativity and stuff like that. So there's a belief system behind that. And I think it's cool. You know what? It worked for my kids. So this is the Rise Up with Dragons show. So let's repurpose this thing called the Dreamcatcher. When I wake up, I set an intention, and I don't know about you, and you've heard about my Rise Up morning. The first thing that I do is I set an intention to be in service to others. But I set an intention to help people that I come into contact with. And what I want to help people do is fulfill their dreams. That gives me self-gratification. It's how I do my business. What I make money doing is helping other people fulfill their dreams. So if you look at a dream catcher, let's repurpose. Look what it actually says. It's a dream catcher. It's not an evil fender. It's a dream catcher. So, and that's one of the things that I do is if you ever write down a word, it's fun to actually look at what the word says. because very often the definition of words in this realm have nothing to do with what the word says. Like the whole idea of impossible, I am possible. So if you look at a dream catcher, you'll see that in a dream catcher, it has a variety of different holes in its webbing. Think of it as like a spider web. So if I look at the structure of what I do every day, now when I say structure, I'm saying like my morning routine, all the things that I do to leverage me into a place where all the things that I need to happen to have what I want, that's what I'm talking about, a structure. Some of you guys will call it high leverage action steps. You know, if you're a salesperson making calls or whatever it is that you know you've done, you have to do to leverage what you want. That's my structure. So if I look at my structure of what I do every day to provide my services as an opportunity to others, I recognize that they are all at different phases of readiness and contemplation. Think about that. If you're in the business of helping other people, you need people that need your help, but you also need them to be ready to receive and engage in your help. So they're all in different phases of readiness and contemplation. Or in other words, their dreams are at different stages of readiness. Think about that. Because if somebody wants something that's attached to improvement, it's also attached to their dreams. So when I'm observing people and my intention is to help them fulfill their dreams, I have to recognize from an empathetic place that their dreams are at different phases of readiness. Therefore, your service and your opportunity will either be what they're looking for and they're ready for and they want, or it could just be at this phase. And for all of you that are trying to move forward in business, this is huge. It could also just be interesting to them. You know, they might notice what it is that you're offering as they pass through a larger hole in your dream catcher. Have you ever noticed when you're out there offering whatever it is that you do, real estate or whatever it is, there's so many different opportunities to get what you want, an electrician or whatever. I mean, social media and branding yourself. Have you ever recognized that if people pass by you, all you really need to do is make an impression on them. And very often, more often than not, they just pass by. So what I'm saying is, in the sense of the dream catcher, there's bigger holes that are made purposely to allow them to pass through your vibration, your offering, your opportunity, your potential, but pass through. They don't know that you know that they've passed through. And most of the time you don't know it either because they won't say anything. They won't even say hi, but they're passing through the vibration and they know. And there's a reason why that's so important. So your service and opportunity will either be what they want or not. So due to the fact that if you're consistent and you're out there every day, due to the fact that you cast your dream catcher every day. This is why I talk about taking a day off rather than taking a day on. You know, Monday through Friday, my dream catcher's out there. And if you go to my social media, it's always there. Anybody that passes by me in any way, shape, or form, physically or on social media, is going to know what I do, right? So they're passing through my dream catcher at a different phase of readiness. But I do it every day, and therefore I'm going to be there the day. And this is what happened to me with my transformation, is somebody was there the day that I woke up and my dream was ready. That's the importance of casting your dream catcher. You're not trying to get people. You're just trying to be there the day that they're ready. And that's in the sense of sales, that's the most important thing. So you'll be there the day that their dream is ready. So there are so many things that I love about this, you know, from an ethical standpoint, as well as a success standpoint. The idea of dream catching. First of all, it takes into account consistency, right? You got to be consistent. That's super important. It also takes into account empathy and the necessary patience that's required when you're in service to others. You need to be ready for other people to be ready for you. Now, as soon as you flip a switch and you start learning how to get people ready for you, that's called sales, right? That's a manipulative thing. And in some walks, maybe that's a good idea if you're just trying to make one sale and move on. But if you're trying to provide a service and create a relationship, you don't want to sell people on that. So what's the secret to success? It's simple. Decide on the outcome that you desire. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Decide on the outcome that you desire. Build a dream catcher that is in support and leverages what it is that you want. And simply make sure that everyone you meet from this day forward, with your consistency and always showing up, even on the tough days, as a matter of fact, more so on the tough days, make sure that from this day forward, everyone that you meet from this day forward simply passes through your dream catcher so that they too can gain access to the potential of your offering and opportunity so that they know where to go the morning that they wake up and their dream is ready. So that is my rise up for the day, and I love it. So love and appreciate you all. Have an amazing day. As a reminder, we have our other podcast called NFTs Made Simple. If you want to learn anything about cryptocurrency and NFTs, but you're scared, go listen to that podcast from the start to the finish, and you will become some form of a black belt, and you'll know, what to do and what not to do. And then the last thing is we always appreciate with that podcast and the Rise Up with Dragon, which is now in the top 1% of the world, which is crazy because I really just use this as a therapy for my anxiety. But we love it when you go to Rise Up with Dragon, share it with other people, rate us and review us. And please give me your feedback. I always like to openly challenge all of my listeners to give me a topic or a word, and I will personally do a Rise Up for you. A lot of these Rise Ups are done based on, challenges that people give me. So today was Dreamcatcher. Love and appreciate you. Have an amazing day.